The race is on for the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Boris Johnson resigned yesterday amid immense political pressure and a spate of resignations from top ministers in his cabinet. And Mr Johnson plans to stay on as caretaker Prime Minister till October, but critics are insisting that he must be pushed out as soon as possible, with Deputy Prime Minister Dominic Raab to act as caretaker in the meantime. A timetable for the Tory leadership contest is due to be confirmed. That's next week, and a new Prime Minister is expected to be in place by September. Ollie Barrett joins us live now from London for more on this. So, Ollie, the air is rife with ambition and aspiration for this job. We're seeing more MPs put their hats in the ring to be the next Prime Minister. What's the list of potentials looking like now?
Long already, and we have a number that we're still waiting to hear from, and I won't name them all because it really is quite a long list already of either candidates who've put their hat in the ring and those who we think will do so. But we already have heard from Tom Tugendhat, who's chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee. He said he'll run. Attorney General Suella Braverman, she said she'll run. Brexiteer Steve Baker, the MP for Wickham, he says that he will run. We absolutely expect to hear soon from the former Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt. We expect that the current Foreign Secretary Liz Truss will run. Rishi Sunak, the Chancellor who resigned during the week to try and push Boris Johnson out, very likely to be on the list as well. Defence Secretary Ben Wallace, one of the clear favourites at the moment, perceived to have had a very good war when it comes to the way that he has responded to the Ukraine crisis. So the list is long, and that is a potential difficulty for the Conservative Party as they try and get this done as quickly as possible with those votes that will start with the MPs in the party and then whittle down to a final two, which will be put to the wider party membership. As you were saying, the party wants to get this done by the time Parliament gets back from its summer holidays in September, but that is a tall order given the already long list.
Well, meantime, Ollie, the Labour Party wants to hasten the exit of Mr Johnson. It's now talking about a no-confidence vote against him to make him leave earlier than October. What are the chances of that vote going through, though?
It's unlikely to succeed because even if there are actually quite a lot of Conservative MPs who don't have confidence in Boris Johnson, and they've demonstrated that very clearly over the last few days, they don't want to hand this huge political victory to the Labour Party. And if there were to be a no-confidence vote in the House of Commons against Boris Johnson's government, that would raise the very real possibility of an election having to be called. And the Conservatives don't want that to happen while Boris Johnson remains in Downing Street as Prime Minister, and so it's unlikely to succeed. But Labour are trying to keep the political pressure on. They're trying to point to the fact that Boris Johnson, who they know is unpopular, is still inside Downing Street, and they're trying to create a picture of a chaotic government at the moment. Boris Johnson and his allies say government is up and running, the cabinet is working. They point to precedent. They say, look, this is always what happens in this type of situation. It's what happened when Theresa May was caretaker before Boris Johnson was chosen. It's what happened when David Cameron was caretaker before Theresa May was chosen as the next leader. So there very much is a clear precedent to this, but that's not to say that there aren't quite a few Conservative MPs who are uncomfortable with Boris Johnson still being in Downing Street and who would like to see him go a little bit sooner. But party officials at this point seem to be saying that Boris Johnson will stay. That's what Downing Street is saying as well. There is an anxiety, I think, about the idea of going from Boris Johnson to an interim caretaker Prime Minister, then to the next leader to have to change over twice. So it looks for now like Boris Johnson will remain in post until that next leader, that next Conservative leader and therefore Prime Minister gets into position.
Ollie, thank you for that update. Ollie Barrett there in London.